Good morning, travelers. It is 6:20 in the morning. Let me show you this if I can, because they just did a stinking update on my thing, and I can't figure out how to work my phone now. Ah, there it is. 6:20 a.m. And I woke up. I'm on my way to the botanical gardens. You're not seeing my face today because it's really swollen. I had some dental work on Wednesday, as you guys know. Um, but I woke up to this tweet from Jessica Adams. It says, shut down Facebook Live or risk another Christchurch. Mark Zuckerberg was recorded saying Steve Bannon, who called for the decapitation of FBI Director Wray, and Dr. Fauci, has not violated enough policies for suspension. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Um, I told you guys a long time ago that Facebook was going to be a really nefarious player. And I understand that, particularly maybe in this time frame when we are separated from people, but also, that's a way for you to keep up. But I just, in good conscience, could not continue to use a product where they sold my personal information and they make using it in the terms of use so murky. Mark Zuckerberg is making billions of dollars off of people's personal information by targeting you with ads, by targeting you with things based upon your search history. That's the algorithm. And I can't, in good conscience, um, well, that's why I quit. I haven't been on Facebook in about 5 years, and I will never go back. And I think it's incumbent upon people to be very aware of what's happening in Facebook. Many of you just go on there to look at other people's lives or post up on your life or to play games, whatever the case may be. But you need to be very cautious about what you are consuming, what you are doing on Facebook. That's the first thing. But I also woke up early because two reasons. I am going out to the botanical gardens today to do a bit of weeding. I really need to be doing it in my own backyard, but everybody volunteers at the botanical gardens. And so without volunteers, we can't keep the place running. So I'm going to go out and do a few hours today. Help me to decompress. Second thing, um, I had a really bizarre dream that woke me up. And so when I woke up, washed my face, I grabbed my phone and I saw that from Jessica Adams. We have 67 days until the inauguration. Today in Washington, D.C., the Proud Boys, the militias, the neo Nazis, the alt right, they're all getting together in Washington, D.C., in Black Lives Matter Plaza to protest the outcome of the election. And on the one hand, they have a right to protest and voice but they're saying that the election was fake. And if you guys go back and remember my videos that I posted, that card kept coming up: a faked election. The news of a faked election will run throughout the city. Let me find it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Nine of Stars, and that kept coming up throughout all of the readings. No, it was the Ten of Suns. It says the false message about a faked election runs through the city. The ruptured pact is canceled. Okay? And here we are. Now, you're going to be seeing this later on today. It'll be afternoon because I'm going to spend a few hours, like I said, out at the botanical gardens. But I wanted to come and record this, show you guys the time, and show you the question. What dangers lurk for the American people during the next 67 days? There's my question. And as I was shuffling and meditating on this question, the reverse Ace of Suns came out. I don't know what this means yet, but when it fell out, the first thing that came to me was the national anthem. The amber waves of grain. America, America, shed his grace on thee. Okay? That literally, the song popped into my head. So that's the first thing. Let me shuffle a bit more, and we're going to lay 3 cards and try to see what this can say. I think we are, just because Joe Biden won the election does not mean we are out of danger in terms of democracy being hijacked. That is the plan. It has been the plan all along. It's quite apparent now. Next card, the 6 of Stars. It is the dove of peace. The 2 of Spheres. The 6 of Coins. Or the 6 of Spheres. This is, according to when I got the deck and I read about what the cards were based on, and these were based on actual drawings in a book that Nostradamus did. And so they put them together as a tarot card. And this is supposed to be Nostradamus here. So he is again referencing himself in this deck. But let's see what the cards have to say. We see the sign, the symbol of Mercury here. And we had that card that said Mercury will be dominant. I think it was the... but he will be put out to graze by Venus. And I know that Venus is leaving the sign of Libra here. I want to say on the 21st of November. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. Let me just go to see what this has to tell us. Something is amiss, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Indeed, it woke me up. This card is about journeying, whether away from or towards events. Again, we get the reference of the planet Mercury has an astrological influence, which suggests that a message will arrive, which may in turn lead to a journey. The interpretation is between 2 rivers. One will be trapped. Barrels and casks will be joined to pass beyond. This is about moving away. It is about undertaking a journey, maybe to another country or simply to a new place or place of work. It can refer to a journey of the spirit beyond life. The indication is of moving away from stale or worn out ideas or situations towards a more satisfactory place. Reverse, it speaks to finding ourselves backed into a corner, a backwater from which it is hard to escape. To try to move at all may cause greater problems, and sometimes it is best simply to wait out the situation until things improve. Between 2 rivers, one will be trapped. Barrels and casks will be joined to pass beyond. If I'm not mistaken, there's a river that surrounds Washington, D.C., maybe a couple of them. It's not a state, people. It's just this odd little piece of land. The 2 of Spheres, 2 bodies, 1 head, forces divided in 2. Oh my God. Reply to what four are hearing. The eagle of the empire. Here, here the papal figure is sweeping the eagle of empire from his path, signifying the old age struggle between church and state. It says, when applied to difficulties and struggles that we accept when we take on the bounty of riches and power, it shows that we must avoid the hindrances that may seek to halt our progress. Upright, it speaks to blockages, obstacles, confusion, entanglement, agitation, worry, and inconsistent results. Ignorance, reversed, ignorance, injustice, speaks to literary gifts, a letter, and financial distress. Two bodies, one head. Forces divided in two. I don't know if this is speaking about the divisions between the legislative body and the executive body. Reply to what four are hearing. I don't know who the four are. We shall see. The six of coins, or the six of spheres. Great compassion will not be long delayed. Those who give will be forced to take. Someone is pointing to passages from two great books. There's no indication as to the exact nature of what he offers. It could be a book of philosophy or Bible. Those receiving the wisdom are represented on the one hand as nuns, and on the other stand secular figures. This exactly presents the figure of authority who directs us to seek guidance from more than one source. It says that this is sometimes seen as the Robin Hood card. We know what it looks like in the regular deck. The figure passing out money to one and then to the other. But reversed, we see greed and an eagerness to take from others and keep all the money from ourselves. And not just the money. Great compassion will not be long delayed. Those who give will be forced to take. That's a very intriguing statement. What I feel this is telling us is that right now, I didn't read the Ace of Sons, so let me read us the reverse Ace of Sons. I think we are in a very precarious time, the next 67 days. The sun and the eagle will minister to the victor. The vanquished are allayed by futile assurances. This is referring to the state of America as it is now. The reverse of this indicates that you should think twice before you proceed. Words such as ruin, defeat, and collapse are often invoked by this card, and you should be aware that any new enterprise could run into rough waters. The reverse meaning is ending, downfall, bankruptcy, decline, fault, persecution, collapse, and defeat. We still have a bit more to go. I think this is speaking to the battle of control for power. And it is not just about the Senate race, who's going to control the Senate. But I think this is going to come down literally to the legislative body, the Senate, both houses having, maybe this is speaking to four, maybe the two speakers and leaders, and the deputy or minority leaders, the people second in command, to what they are hearing. The two rivers, what is that? Two bodies, one head. I think they're going to have to, I think there's going to come some kind of serious, what do you call it? Split between the two. This could be a situation in which the closer we get to the inauguration, President Trump, 45, having to lead the White House, he could try to do something like dissolve the House of the Congress. That's how coups are done. Okay. I'm very confused as to who this figure is and what he represents. Maybe these are people pledging allegiance to the new leader. I don't know. I know that many people believe that he's been sent by God. I don't know how they can see that when he's so full of hate. But something is afoot. Believe me, he will leave the White House, okay? Eventually he's going to leave the White House. Whether he goes under his own power or whether he goes kicking and screaming. The bottom line is, though, between now and then, and it may not even be January 20th that he leaves, but he eventually will leave that White House, okay? I'm going to say that. But there's something else going on here that I don't think we know anything about. I think he's signaling to his base and to his members to come out into the streets, and I think he's actually looking for some bloodshed to be spread. And it has nothing to do with the idea that he has lost the election. It is the idea that he has the power to command so many people who will listen to him. This is not a person who is an ideologue. This is not a person who has a philosophy. This is not a person who is religious. This is not a person who is highly intelligent and well-read and is a student of history. This is literally about his ego. Okay? I'm going to come back perhaps in a few days and do another reading, because I remember speaking to a friend out there, hey Johnny B, if you're seeing this, that the troops will end up being used against our own citizens. That's something we don't want to see here in America. But it may come down to the idea that they may not be given a choice. The four heads could be the four heads of the national security departments, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Department of Defense. It could be that. Yes? I don't know. He's installed so many people who are towing his line that they may be willing to do anything. So I want you guys to, this kind of language and this kind of leads to people getting hurt. Like Christchurch, like Oklahoma City. For those of you who remember Oklahoma City, this is really, the next 67 days are going to be extremely pivotal. He may just try to burn it down before he leaves. He may leave January 20th, but he's going to burn it down before he goes. So that's the message that I have for you guys. I'm sorry you couldn't see my face. I'm going to come back in a few days and look at this situation again. We shall see what happens today at the little rally that they're doing today, and we shall see. So with that being said, I want you guys to take care. Please stay safe over the Thanksgiving holidays. Rethink your plans if you'd planned on having family, or if you planned on traveling to see family. Winter is here. For those of you who were on my website and have been on my website for a long time, I started telling you back last year that winter was coming. Just like in the Game of Thrones. Remember, winter is coming. And remember what came for them in the wintertime? Winter is coming. And this pandemic is going to be, this winter season is going to be some grim, grim, grim days. So please rethink your plans. If you are having family, if you are traveling, social distance, have one person serve the other person. Try to eat your food outside. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. No kissing and hugging. I know that's crap for Thanksgiving. But if you care about yourself and your friends and your loved ones and your children, you're going to have to do this. This is not a political statement. This is about compassion and saving lives. Not just other people's lives, but it could be your own. So think on that and try to have a great Thanksgiving holiday. If I don't talk to you before then, I'm going to try to come back before then. But until next time, namaste.